Welcome back to Miss Eddie's Math Movies, where it's a cute to be a square. Today's lesson is 9.3, Surface Area of Pyramids and Cones. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to find the surface area of a pyramid and of a cone. First, let's make sure we understand the vocabulary. A pyramid is a polyhedron, so it's all straight, with one base, triangular lateral faces, and a common vertex. So I'll draw a square pyramid for you. So here's your base, right? One base, and they all come up to a common vertex. There's the common vertex right there. And notice all of these lateral faces are triangles. The height of a pyramid is the perpendicular distance from the vertex to the base. So if I were to draw that in our picture, it goes from the vertex straight down. That's the height. We call the height h. Then in a pyramid, there's also a slant height. There's a leaning height is what I'm going to refer to it as. And it is the leaning height from the vertex to the edge of the base. All right, and it's leaning, so we call it L. And that leaning height is right here, goes along the lateral face. So it's the height of the lateral face. All right, that's another way to think of it. Height of lateral face. A cone is not a polyhedron because it's curved. It's a solid with one circular base and a common vertex. So a cone's got a circular base. There's a common vertex right there. So once again, the height of the cone is the perpendicular distance between the vertex and the base. From the vertex to the base. And we call that H. So H goes from here straight down. There's H. All right, and you already know this is the radius, so put an R there. Then we have our slant height, which we talked about before. Slant height is L. It's that leaning height. L is right here. See that leaning height. The leaning height, just like above. From the vertex to the edge of the base. And we're going to use these heights, so you got to make sure you understand the difference. The regular height is straight up and down. L is the leaning height, the slant height. Find the slant height. So slant height is L. It's that lateral height. So this one right here, the leaning height. Let's put L in our picture. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. Well, what I want to do is I can kind of see a triangle in here. You see this triangle? We're going to take that triangle, we're going to pull it out. So let's redraw it over here. And we're trying to find out this leaning height. Well, how tall is this? This is the regular height. That is 100. How long is this? Well, notice it goes from the middle to the edge. This whole length is 200, which means that this is half of 200, which is 100. Now we can do the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, because we have a right triangle. L squared equals 100 squared plus 100 squared. 100 squared plus 100 squared. We can use our calculator if we need to. 20,000. But that's what L squared is. We just want L. So we need to take the square root. The square root of 20,000 is 141.4. So L is 141.4 feet. That is what the leaning or the slant height is. To find the surface area of a pyramid. Well, if you remember before, for a prism, we did 2b plus ph. But in a pyramid, there's only one base. So we're not going to do 2b anymore. We're just going to do b plus. Now all of the faces, these lateral faces, are triangles. For triangles, we always have to multiply by 1/2. So 1/2 the perimeter, so very similar, but instead of regular height, we're going to use slant height, because that's what's on the triangle. So it's the area of the base and 1/2 the product of the perimeter and the slant height, or leaning height. So let's apply that. Find the surface area of the pyramid. So first step is to write the formula. B plus 1/2 PL. Remember, big B stands for area of the base. What's my base here? My base is this square. So how do I find the area of a square? Well, I do side times side. 6 squared is 36. So my base is 36. 1/2. Now I need to find the perimeter of the base. Well, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 all the way around. That's 24. All right, we've got 4 6s. And now we need to find the leaning height, the slant height. Oh no, they didn't give that to us. We need to find it. So you have to draw in your right triangle. So redraw it over here. So this is L. We know the regular height is 4. How big is this? Well, all the way across is 6. And we're going from the middle to here, so that's just 3, half of 6. Now we can do the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's see, this is 9 plus 16, which is 25. So L squared equals 25. Take the square root. L is equal to 5. I've got to go plug that back in to my formula. So 5 goes right here. Now if I want, I can just plug this whole thing into my calculator. 36, see, this is 60, 96 feet squared is the answer to surface area. All right, so now you get to try. Notice here they gave you the slant height. They gave you big B. You don't even have to solve for big B. They already gave it to you. Here you need to find the slant height. Use the Pythagorean theorem to do that. So you're going to do this now. Your formula is surface area equals base, area of base plus 1/2 perimeter times the slant height. Don't forget your units. And here it's nice, they already gave you L. Right, here's L. They already gave you L here. And this one you have to solve for L, right? L is going to be right here. So pull out that triangle. Figure out what L is going to be. And then plug it back into your formula. A cone is a lot like a pyramid, but we don't call perimeter P anymore. We call it circumference. So it's the same formula, but instead of 1/2 PL, we say CL. It's the area of the base and the product of pi. Oh, I'm sorry, 1/2, not pi. We'll get to pi in a second. The circumference of the base and the slant height. So let's find the area of this cone. So let's write our formula. S equals B plus 1/2 CL. Remember, B is always going to be the same because it's a circle. So B is always R squared pi. And C is always 2R pi. So that makes this a little bit easier. We can simplify this formula. So now, let's see, our base is a circle. And we do 12 squared pi plus 1/2. Let's see, the circumference is 2R pi, right? That's what circumference is. So 2 times R is 24. 24 pi. Oh, we have to find that leaning height again. But we got our right triangle, so Pythagorean theorem. L squared equals 5 squared plus 12 squared, which is 169. Now we square root. L is equal to 13. Now I can go plug that in to my equation. At this point, you can just put this whole thing in your calculator if you want, or we can keep it in terms of pi, depending on how fancy your calculator is. This is 144 pi. Half of 24 is 12, and 12 times 13 is 156 pi. 144 plus 156. 300 pi feet squared. Or go one step further, put it all in your calculator. 300 pi is 942.5 feet squared. Now if you want, you can put this whole step in your calculator. Watch. You don't have to simplify it all. You can put it in, so 12 squared pi plus 0.5 times 24 pi times 13. Look, I'm putting it all in. I get the same answer. So you can go right from this step to this step if you want to. All right, now it's your turn. Remember your formula. B plus 1/2 CL. B is always R squared pi. C is always 2R pi. So please do this now. Don't forget your units. Here you need to find your radius, and here you need to find your slant height. Notice they gave you the regular height. You need to find L, and then plug that into your formula. On example 4, number 4, they already gave you L and they already gave you R, so that makes it easy. Here they gave you L, but you need to find r still because they gave you diameter. This is M Cube signing out.